Hello and welcome back to the January reset. It is the 31 days where we put ourselves to the test and try to improve not only physically but mentally as well. Don't worry if you're new and you have no idea what a January reset is. I'm going to break down the 10 rules that we used and what I had to follow for the challenge. Nearly every rule on the list of 10 had to be followed every single day. It will be very obvious the ones that were not to be followed every day. Number one, a 45-minute workout. It's working out every single day for 45 minutes. That could be inside the home, at the gym, or just outside. And it doesn't really need to be a weightlifting workout. I did a lot of weightlifting workouts, but you can really mix and match. I like to do a mix and match, conditioning, cardio. You can do yoga if you like one of your days. It's just 45 minutes of vigorous activity of some kind. Number two, 15-minute walk outside. It can't be inside. Walking on a treadmill, yeah, it's going to burn some calories or whatever, but there is an inherent mental health benefit to walking outside. 3 litres of water daily. No cheat meals, no junk food, only sticking to the plan. Alcohol only on special occasions. So really when you kind of need to do it. I myself, the whole month, didn't have a drink except at my cousin's 21st birthday. Obviously, I think that kind of stuff warrants it if it's something important. However, making it through a week, getting to Friday, that's not a special occasion. You and the boys felt like it, that's not a special occasion. It's about really kind of marking it. If it's a life event of some kind, and you want to participate. But if it's just run of the mill, leave it. Read one chapter of a book every single day. It does not matter what the book is, fiction, non-fiction. It's just about keeping yourself mentally sharp. Take a progress picture at the start and the end, just so that you can kind of monitor your progress. It doesn't have to be for social media. It's just good so that you've got a kind of cause and effect, a before and after in your own mind, and you can see the improvements hopefully. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Following the 1 veg, 1 carb, 1 protein rule. Essentially it's just structuring your meals to make sure that they include a source of each of these and kind of nothing more and nothing less essentially. And a digital detox on a Sunday, or just any day of the week that works for you, but a recurring day of the week where you keep social media, kind of time on your phone, scrolling mindlessly, like cut that down 1 hour on a Sunday, and you're just only using your phone when it's absolutely necessary. These things can sound pretty simple, I think, because we look at stuff like 75 hard, and I would say that in a lot of things, these online challenges, they can be geared up to be like a lot harder than this. But definitely kind of juggling your life around all this stuff, it can be hard, especially in January. January's not really a great month for it. I think it's when everything's getting back in order. So I found it definitely hard. I managed to get through it, but it was extremely difficult. I originally planned to vlog this weekly. I did keep up to date with daily shorts, but that didn't really go to plan. So I thought I would take this opportunity to do a full summary of the process, the kind of week ins, weeks out, how I found each individual rule and how I managed to kind of hang with it or kind of struggled against it in each kind of individual category. I think it's a good kind of catharsis for us to check in with each other and really kind of make sure that we've got this January reset coming to what feels like a solid conclusion and a conversation about how we did. So I've got to talk about the wins to begin with, the positives, the things that I really liked about it and the things that improved a lot for me. I think number 1 that I have to put on the list is, oddly enough, not something physical. I really thought it would be, but it was the 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. There was a lot going on in my January, like a lot going on for me, kind of personally, that I wouldn't divulge, but seriousness. And just having to look back at the day and go, what was a positive thing that happened there? Like, what am I grateful for? What's actually good in my life? I think I often have a kind of harshness on myself about like how I take things in my life, and kind of, I think I'm very easily affected if one thing doesn't go right for me or as I planned, for me to just be like, it's over, well, it's so over. And then sometimes if I get like one good thing, I'm like, oh, I'm so back, you know. Whereas like just sitting down every day and going like, what went right, kind of kept me like a lot more balanced, I felt, during this. And it definitely helped me not only, you know, kind of get through the month, but also really did help on the other kind of points of the challenge. I think that was the one thing that kind of kept the challenge going. The next was reading a chapter every single day. Like the 3 gratefulness, I never skipped any of that. There wasn't a time that I was even tempted to skip it. I read a chapter every single day. I think when you get challenges that are comparable, like 75 hard or whatever, read 10 pages. I think that really kind of dramatically undershoots your potential. Now, there are books that have like extremely long chapters, and I can get how that, you know, would be a problem, but it was really nice to, you know, I was picking Percy Jackson. It was a book series that I had connected with as a young lad, and it was really good to just be back in them and reading them, and it kind of reignited a kind of love of reading when I feel like recently I've been in a slump in that regard. And I think just reading a chapter every day, even though you can, you know, you probably could, I felt myself at the end of each day, maybe I can read 4 more or whatever. Not pushing kind of caused me consistency and not to burn out. Because I've always kind of thought of myself as like a reader, but then I kind of hit these patches where I don't know, it doesn't sit with me. I can't bring myself to do it, and because of that, then I'll end up taking a massive like 6-month break from reading. So it was really nice to just sit down and say I'm just going to read 1 chapter, and a minimum requirement every single day. It's not hard to do. You know, you sit down for 10 minutes and you've done it. So that was really enlightening and really surprising. I thought I would struggle more with that. 45-minute workouts. This actually was really easy again. I think you end up getting into this kind of cycle with working out every single day, where it just becomes like brushing your teeth. Like, it's not something that you dread, it's just something you know that you have to do. I actually think that there's maybe more trouble when you've got a 3-day-a-week workout plan or whatever, or a 4-day-a-week when there's rest periods between. Rest periods are obviously needed to grow muscle and to recover and stuff like that. But mentally, it's like in your head that you're like skipping it. You're skipping the gym, so it's like if you're skipping the gym half the week deliberately, it's very easy to be like, oh, you know, maybe I can skip one of those sessions. You know, I had a rest day yesterday, and you know, maybe I'll skip my next rest day and I'll catch up. You know, you can do a wee bit of kind of jiggery pokery on whether you're going to work out or not, I suppose. Whereas when you have to work out every single day, you will work out every single day. And I really like the 45-minute time window, because I think I'm someone that is like a hour and a half kind of person in the gym. So condensing it and having it more frequently made my workouts much more enjoyable, and just made me actually feel more recovered, but also I felt like I could try harder in those 45 minutes. So it was widely beneficial and it wasn't hard to do. As I mentioned, alcohol on special occasions wasn't a trouble for me. I didn't drink the whole month. When I did drink on my cousin's 21st, I had like 2 beers, so it really didn't throw me off. I don't think I really got drunk or whatever. So yeah, that rule was not a struggle for me. I took that in my stride, but I kind of expected to. That was not where the struggles came. Now, getting to the negatives, where did I personally struggle? Actually, some of the things that you would think are fairly easy, maybe they are easy for some of the other people that have participated in this challenge, or ones similar to it, was drinking the 3 litres of water every day. I was so bad for that. You know, I really struggled. I felt like it was a race at the end of the day, trying to get the water in, you know. I really nearly missed it, like every single day on the day. It was quite difficult, and it's funny because it's not anything drinking water, but when you're doing certain things that are like so active and you've got such like an emotional attachment to, you know, I feel like you're doing your gratefulness journaling or whatever, you get an emotional attachment to that. You know, you're working out, there's some sort of experiential kind of thing going on there. Whereas like drinking water was such an afterthought, but like came back to like bite me like all the time. The next one's really funny that I struggled with. It was the 15-minute walk. Now, I didn't actually struggle to get this in, but it was like I did find myself really kind of gamifying it and maybe taking away from the purpose. You know, so I would do stuff like, you know, I don't know, we would park the car like 15 minutes away and walk to the gym. Or, you know, kind of like real kind of sneaky stuff. And I mean, that does work for like calorie burning, but when I kind of wrote it in mind, I had more like someone like really intentionally taking a walk and, you know, clearing their head and taking the nature and all that. And I was just me, I was supposed commuting. Like, I kind of turned it into, I'm out in nature, but I was out in nature because, like, basically in Scotland, you're not far from nature at any given time. So I was basically just commuting and being like, 15-minute walk. The digital detox Sunday. I did digital detox some of the Sundays. Other ones, to be honest, I don't know, I think between, you know, making some of the content and editing it, making choices and things like that, and kind of filming for upcoming videos and things like that, it just became, I don't know, I found it very hard, especially as well as a personal trainer, to not be on my phone on Sundays. I'm somebody, I think I kind of work around the clock, I'm always working, and I found it very hard to kind of be away from that, and there was definitely times, I know for a fact, that I did violate that. So yeah, that's something, if I was to do it again, I would have to be more disciplined in that regard. I'm going to mention some of the stuff that I've not, and that is things that I just kind of considered a non-starter. Obviously all the kind of nutritional ones, I didn't really add those for me, because we basically do that, all that stuff already. You know, we're not really big cheat meal havers or anything like that, we don't really do that. And all our meals follow the 1-1-1 rule. So it just wasn't a struggle, so I just don't think it's you know, I should pat myself on the back for putting those in, because for me that's just something that I already do. So it's not a challenge, it wasn't changing anything for me, but I think it would have been something that was worthwhile including for other people, and it's why I put it in the challenge. So what did I learn from the process? I think there was some kind of big takeaways. I have definitely taken away a lot from the kind of mindfulness practice. I didn't really realise how much that's applicable, and I think it's something that's applicable to everyone. I think I thought that was like a little bit, you know, avocado toast, green drink smoothie, doing Pilates on a Monday morning kind of thing. But no, I think it's worthwhile for everyone. You know, I think that's not just like a kind of productive girly exercise. I think that a lot of guys could actually benefit from sitting back and looking over the course of their day and saying like, what went well here? Because I think a lot of the times we really focus on what we want to improve on, and I think we look at the negatives and we're always kind of pushing the bar to be like, how can my life be better? How can I be improving? You know, it's hard for us, I think, to like celebrate the wins that we get as we get them. You know, whereas I think we've always got that eye on the bigger prize, whatever the massive goal is you've got, and those kind of incremental goals, we kind of dismiss. So it was really good to kind of see that, and kind of really look at the kind of mental side and mental wellness not just physically. I think something as well that I really learned coming in the kind of physical area was the kind of joy of working out again. You know, like I've worked out and I've worked out on plans with kind of a purpose behind them, whereas like working out every day, and yeah, I had a plan that I stuck to, but they were these real kind of short, condensed workouts. I'd try really, really hard, you know, for 45 minutes, and then that would be it. And maybe in those 45 minutes, I would only get through like 3 or 4 exercises. But, you know, the quality of the session, the quality of the work that I was putting out was just much higher. I think with this, accountability is definitely key. I'd have struggled with this a lot more if my girlfriend wasn't doing the exact same thing as me. So I think advice for you at home, and also advice, you know, for myself, is that having someone in any aspect of your life that's going to keep you accountable, that's on the kind of same path as you, is massively helpful to achieving your goals. And planning is absolutely everything. It comes down to make sure that you're eating the right meals, by make sure that you're buying the right stuff into the house. You know, make sure that you've maybe got an idea of what you're going to cook, how you're going to cope in a situation. You know, for instance, I don't know, you have to go somewhere for lunch or whatever. You know, planning and prep is really big. You know, when are you going to do your workout? When are you going to do your walk? You know, how are you going to cause yourself to not mess up, essentially? You need a kind of a plan B, I suppose, on everything. And that is why I really struggled with the Sundays. That's why I really struggled with taking the detox, because I think I was obviously like constantly planning, but the only thing I didn't plan was my rest. And that's something that you need to take into consideration as well. You know, you need to, I was doing, you know, a lot of that planning on the day of the week that I was least busy, which was the Sunday. But I was wasting that aspect of the challenge. So I think it's all about incremental improvements. If I had, rather than try and cram all that into the Sunday, if I had just dispersed it across the week, very much like dispersing the chapters throughout the week, or dispersing shortened workouts. I think one of the biggest lessons, if you want to sum all of this up, is don't bite off more than you can chew. Be consistent, and when things don't get perfectly, just jump back on the horse and just keep plodding along. You know, if you did the January reset and you had 30 perfect days and one day that you messed up, you're still doing better than every single person that done nothing with their January, you know. And those 30 days absolutely stack a world up against that one bad day. So that would probably be my advice to you, is just to take that on board, is consistency and having the right kind of mental framing. If you got this far in the video, thank you very much. I know that I kind of waxed on quite poetically with this one. Please like the video if you enjoyed the video, and if you're interested in more kind of fitness content like this, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can stay up to date on all the videos that I make. Thank you for joining me on the January reset, and I'll see you in the next video.